Bernie Williams, this is a huge honor. My name is Deuce. My co-host is Brandi. She's with me as well.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We'll go right into it. We're not going to waste any time. We know that your time is very valuable, and we're both kind of, and this is a bad thing for radio hosts, but when we found out we were going to have an opportunity to speak to you, both people who grew up in New York around the era of the Yankees and just the dominance, it kind of rendered us speechless, so you might have to do a little more talking in this interview than usual.
Well, that's what I'm there for, man. That's what I'm here for. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Now, you are, man, I got to say, your music career has really taken off.
Yeah, it has taken off. I am very fortunate to have the opportunity to do it here in the tri-state area. Playing in New York, as a Yankee for 16 years, has obviously opened a lot of great doors, a lot of great opportunities for me in the music industry. And people are as excited to meet a former Yankee, and they're as curious to hear, what do I sound like. But the fact of the matter is that I still have to do the work. I still have to put in the effort and have the discipline to be the best musician that I can be, so I can actually make it and make it last. So it's been very exciting and such a privilege to have this opportunity. Now,
you're playing at the Ridgefield Playhouse. That's going to be on Sunday, the 30th, 7:30 p.m. I think it's interesting that you say, you really have to have the chops to back it up, because I think maybe even more than the typical person, I think maybe you're almost at a disadvantage because people might kind of skeptically be like, all right, this guy was great at baseball. Now he thinks he can just come and do whatever he wants to and be successful. Do you feel like there's a little bit more pressure on you?
Absolutely. But I think luckily for us, I've taken a lot of the things that I've learned from playing in the baseball field, and one of those things was playing under pressure.
Yep.
Obviously, it's one of those things that you have to excel at if you wanna remain a player and be productive. So I think it just comes down to preparation. I know that I'm still fairly new and as being a musician and playing on stage. So I am just trying to work as hard as I can and not trying to be something that I'm not. And I have obviously surrounding myself with the best musicians that I can find.
Right.
We have a great band, and my job is, to do my thing, and I know that they're going to back me up. So it's just a great privilege to have them playing with me. So it usually comes out, to be a great music night. I tell little stories about myself and how did I became a musician and a professional athlete, and how music has been such an important part of my life. And we just go from there, and we let the music take over, and people just get out of the event and the concert thinking that they would like to come back as we have been at Ridgefield Playhouse for 3 or 4 years now, and it's a testament to how much they enjoy the show.
Now, I have to ask, you said you tell stories about the history and how you kind of got into it. When did everything start for you musically? When did you kind of get that impulse, or when did you decide, hey, you know what, I can actually really pursue this more than just as a hobby?
Yeah, that's two different questions, though. I started playing guitar when I was 8 years old. And my dad, obviously was my hero. He started me in this music path as well as this baseball path. At the time that I was 8 years old, you got little kids playing baseball since they're 5 years old in their diapers, hitting the T-ball and running in the wrong direction. But at 8 years old, you're a little bit behind the game in baseball in Puerto Rico. So my dad took the time to teach me how to, my primary skill things, catch, throw, run, hit. He spent a lot of time with me after school in those years, teaching me that. And then the music thing came right around the same time. He was a former merchant marine, and from his travels all over the world, he brought a Spanish guitar from Spain, and he used to play it every night. After we went to we would go to sleep, he would spend some time in the living room, and in the dark of the night, he would play all these Spanish tunes. And one of those nights, I snuck in, and I had to muster a lot of courage because he was like, no, to stay out, after sleeping time. But I actually was fascinated by the sound, and I asked him if he could teach me how to play. And to my surprise, he said, of course. He taught me a couple of chords, and that started my whole love affair with music. And by the time I was a freshman in high school, I had this great opportunity to go to a music high school down in Puerto Rico, which I spent 4 years learning how to play classical guitar, and that sort of, kind of propelled me into having this love affair with music that, still to this day I have. The Yankee thing just came along the way, and I couldn't pass out the opportunity.
Yeah, it's nice when the New York Yankees come along. By the way, I might also be able to become a legend with the best team ever.
It was just a step in the way.
Bernie, do you get more butterflies on a small stage, or when you're going up to bat in front of 50,000 people?
Well, that's a very interesting question. I think that both things come down to preparation. Mm-hmm. Like the excitement that I felt when I was on the field, I was just so pumped to have the opportunity to perform because I've done it so many times, and that was the stage that I needed to shine. After a million ground balls, a million swings, and the soft dog batting cage, I was just prepared to do whatever, and I was able to trust that preparation to go on the field and try to do the best that I could. In music, however, it doesn't matter how much you play at home and how much you practice. It's those times on stage when the light is shining on you, and it just kind of changes your whole attitude about the whole thing. I mean, it's a lot of pressure, but the more you do it, the better you get at it, the more comfortable you are with yourself.
Right.
And still, you have to, you have to do your scales, you have to prepare your music, and you have to do a lot of pre-production stuff before you step out there, so you're secure in your ability, and you don't have to think too much about it, and you can enjoy yourself, while you're on stage.
Are you also enjoying not doing like 160 performances a year, or is that your goal to get up to a large number like that?
Nah. I did a lot of that when I was playing, and of course, I mean, if the opportunity arises and I get an opportunity to do things that make sense to me, and the things that I want to accomplish in music, of course, I'm going to be open to those opportunities. But after playing 16 years of high-profile Major League Baseball with the Yankees, when you were playing 162 games a year, and if you were lucky, you were playing in the postseason, probably add a month to all of that. I think my hard touring days are over. It is a great time in my life right now. Now I have an opportunity to still be trying to be the best parent that I can be, and I have an opportunity to go back to school. As a matter of fact, I am actually a senior at Manhattan School of Music, and I'm pursuing a bachelor's degree in jazz performance. So,
that's awesome.
After all these years being a Yankee, now I just want to be a jazz cat. So
cool cat.
So blessed to have that opportunity, and I'm enjoying this time of my life right now.
Now, it's funny that you say that, in addition to the postseason, because as a baseball nerd, statistics nerd, I know that your postseason career is essentially an entire additional season of plate appearances because you were in the playoffs every single year. And we're such an incredible postseason player. It's just so exciting that you get a chance to kind of share both gifts that your father shared with you. And people will get an opportunity. There's the Gold Circle meet and greet for the event. You can get orchestra seats, all sorts of different tickets available to the Ridgefield Playhouse. Like I said, on the 30th, Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Make sure you get those tickets. I can't tell you how much it means that you took time out of your morning to talk to us.
We appreciate it.
I really appreciate it.
Oh, it was just such a pleasure, man. It was a little bit too early for me, but as a musician, you know that we live night.
Right. Well,
so,
at least you have an excuse.
It was a great pleasure.
I live nights, and I have to be here at 5-something in the morning. So at least
you're burning the stick out of both ends, man.
Yeah.
You're living hard.
I know. I'm trying to be more as disciplined as you are. So I'll work on it.
Oh, Oh, man, no, man. You just got to be yourself. Keep doing what you're doing, man. You're doing fine.